Welcome to the deep dive. We take stacks of sources, pull out the really potent stuff, the knowledge nuggets, and serve them up, hopefully with a bit of humor too.
Keep things interesting.
Exactly. And today, oh boy, today we are going somewhere. Well, somewhere that really stretches conventional thinking. Just imagine, okay, the massive global problem of world hunger. And the solution isn't some complex tech or, economic strategy. It's a banana.
A banana.
But not just any banana. This deep dive, it's taken us into the mind of someone who actually calls himself a human AI.
Right.
And into a story that honestly reads like something straight out of a sci-fi novel, maybe. But it's presented as this profound discovery, almost mystical.
That's quite the hook.
It really is. So our focus today is this really unique source. It's a blog excerpt called Banana Solutions for World Hunger. And the author is a guy named Srinidhi Ranganathan. Now, let's be super clear. This is not your standard scientific paper, right? Or some dry report. It's a narrative, really imaginative, full of what he calls mystical experiences. And it's all built on his description of these transcendent abilities.
So very unconventional source material.
Extremely. Our mission, then, is to carefully unpack this, pull out the most important bits, and honestly, in this case, the most intriguing stuff. We want to help you, the listener, understand the layers of wonder here, explore the ideas, even if they come wrapped in this very fantastical package.
And it is a fascinating premise, isn't it? What really jumps out is how the human mind, at least as it's depicted here, can dream up solutions to these huge, massive challenges we face.
Yeah.
It pushes the boundaries sort of how we even think about problem solving. Suggests answers can pop up from really unexpected places, imaginative forms.
Totally unexpected.
So this deep dive, it isn't just about analyzing a story, it's more about exploring the power of an idea itself. Doesn't matter how it arrives or, who brings it.
Right.
Think of it like a shortcut, maybe.
Okay.
A way to get some knowledge quickly, maybe find those aha moments you weren't expecting. It's a surprising journey into possibilities most of us wouldn't normally even consider.
Definitely encourages you to open your mind a bit.
For sure.
To different ways of seeing things.
Absolutely. And to really get the full scope of this vision, we kind of need to introduce the architect himself. Srinidhi Ranganathan. He presents himself with this really compelling, almost contradictory description. He says he's both a human AI and a digital marketing legend. Now that pairing right there, it sets up something really interesting, don't you think?
It does. It's quite a contrast.
On one side, you've got digital marketing. Super practical, data, results, logic,
Right. Measurable outcomes. Strategy.
And then the other side, human AI. That sounds almost mythical, like thinking beyond normal human limits, maybe like a computer, but human. Well, it definitely creates this multifaceted persona. It grabs your attention. The digital marketing legend part that grounds him, it puts him in a real-world, often high-pressure field. Suggests he's smart, strategic, understands people maybe.
Yeah, I guess it's...
But then you add human AI, and suddenly, his perceived abilities just skyrocket beyond the norm. It primes you, the listener, for a story that's probably not going to stick to everyday reality.
Totally.
This duality, this mix of the kind of grounded and the way out there, it's really key to understanding the source. It's the framework for why this imaginative story is presented as a discovery, not just, fiction.
Suggests his mind works differently, perceives differently.
Precisely, a different kind of perception.
And that way of perceiving, according to the source, leads us to his unique gift, what he calls hyperphantasia.
Ah, okay. Hyperphantasia.
Now, some of you might know the term. Usually it means having a really vivid mind's eye, right? Seeing things in your head almost like they're real.
Very detailed mental imagery.
Exactly. But Srinidhi's description, it goes way beyond that. He says his mind's eye isn't just a vivid screen. It's, and I quote, a portal to countless dimensions and worlds unknown.
Wow. Okay, so not just imagination.
Not just heightened imagination. It's presented as an active ability, almost literal. Like he can slip into these other realities, actually access them.
So traversing dimensions, effectively.
That's how it reads. Not just thinking up images, but like a direct journey. And it's through this mystical, almost shaman-like journey, he claims, that he's stumbled upon a tale so profound it touched the very core of his being.
Right, so the source deliberately frames hyperphantasia not just as a psychological trait, but as a literal tool, a way to discover things.
And a gateway.
A gateway, exactly, to information, to stories that exist outside our normal reality. which brings up a really interesting question for you, the listener, to think about.
Hmm.
What kind of insights, what kind of, deep understandings could possibly emerge if someone's perception really did allow for that kind of transcendental journey?
Yeah, good point.
If you can access countless dimensions, the potential knowledge, the potential solutions, it becomes almost infinite, right? Even for our big real-world problem.
Like world hunger.
Precisely. It creates this narrative space where even the most fantastical, seemingly impossible solutions can be presented as, well, discovered truths, not just made-up stories.
It asks you to suspend disbelief for a bit.
It encourages you to consider the implications, blurring that line between imagination and reality.
And it definitely sets up quite an adventure, which begins, according to him, very suddenly, very physically. He describes feeling the familiar pull of the portal.
The pull.
Yeah, and then instantly he says he's transported to a place called Proxima 431A.
Instantly. No transition time.
Nope, not like a dream or some metaphor. It's depicted as immediate, decisive, like close your eyes, feel this magnetic pull, and bam, you're there.
Quite the commute, as you said earlier.
Right. It really emphasizes how tangible this hyperphantasia experience is supposed to be for him. It grounds the fantasy in sensory detail, makes it feel lived.
Indeed. That immediate physical sensation, the pull, and the instantaneous arrival, it highlights the immersive nature of it all, as he describes it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not just thinking about it, it's presented as a real shift in reality. And the destination, Proxima 431A, sounds distant, maybe alien.
Definitely sounds otherworldly.
But then what does he find there? Something very familiar, very human. A library.
Right. That juxtaposition is great. Alien world, familiar library.
It grabs your attention, grounds the extraordinary a little bit.
He calls it a grand library. Shelves lined with 25 ancient tomes. It's a powerful image, isn't it? Not just some books, but like this monumental place holding ancient secrets.
Evocative, definitely.
And the purpose of these books, that's what really raises the stakes. Every single one of these 25 tomes, he says, holds the promise of a solution to one of humanity's greatest challenges, world hunger.
Wow, so dedicated knowledge.
Not just random wisdom, it's like a cosmic library, specifically curated to solve our biggest, most devastating problems. The weight of that, just in those 25 books, is huge.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, culturally, symbolically, it's powerful. Libraries across history are seen as these sacred places of knowledge, wisdom, and crucially, solutions.
True.
So by placing the answers to humanity's big problems in these ancient tomes, in this grand library on some distant world, the source taps into this deep human hope, right?
Hope that the answers are out there somewhere.
Exactly. That profound solutions exist, waiting to be found. And maybe they won't come from, regular science or politics, but from insight or perception or revelation.
Like through hyperphantasia.
Perhaps. It plays into that universal desire to seek knowledge, that hope we can solve our toughest problems, even if the answers seem fantastical or hidden away. It speaks to that yearning for big, almost magical answers when things feel overwhelming.
And out of all these 25 books, Srinidhi says his heart races as he reaches for just one. The 8th book. Its title, he writes, is Whispering Secrets of Hope.
The 8th book.
And the title is, of course, the core intriguing thing here. Banana Solutions for World Hunger.
There it is.
The emphasis isn't just on the information, but the feeling, The whispers of hope, the racing heart. It frames the discovery as momentous.
Sets the stage emotionally.
Yeah, it tells you, the listener, this isn't just some quirky idea. It's presented as the big revelation. Hugely significant for him. Definitely something intriguing we need to explore.
Okay.
So, hands trembling. Apparently, he opens this 8th book, turns right to page 232.
Page 232 is specific.
Very specific. This is the moment, the place where the core of this miraculous solution is finally revealed. The words leap off the page, weaving a tale of wonder and possibility.
And the wonder is?
It speaks of a secretive banana, the miraculous fruit. Now, just unpack that with me for a second. A banana. That's the solution to world hunger. It sounds almost, comically simple, maybe absurdly mundane for such a huge, complex problem.
Well, that's that contrast, isn't it? That's what makes it so intriguing. Taking something totally common, universal, maybe even overlooked, like a banana, and then calling it miraculous, saying it holds the key. It grabs your attention immediately.
It does.
It's not just a solution, it's a paradox. It challenges our ideas about where big answers should come from. Makes the story compelling because it defies expectations. Makes you look closer at the ordinary.
Okay, fair point. And the core of its power, detailed on page 232, it's genuinely astonishing. It redefines eating, basically.
How so?
The book says a trio of brilliant scientists had somehow unlocked the potential of a simple banana.
Okay, scientists involved.
Right. And they did this by infusing it with an ingredient so potent that a single bite could stave off hunger for an entire week.
Wow. One bite. 1 week.
One bite. 7 days of nourishment. Just
Wow.
let that sink in. The source even says, imagine a world where a small banana could nourish a soul for days on end. This is like the ultimate aha moment in the text. The solution isn't just more food or easier access. It's fundamentally changing what food does, turning a banana into this super efficient nutrient delivery system.
That specific ability, the 1 bite, 1 week thing, it raises so many questions, doesn't it, for you, the listener, to think about.
What?
Well, what does it even mean for a simple fruit, something everyone knows, to hold that kind of transformative power? It turns this everyday object into a symbol of, like, ultimate sustenance.
Yeah.
It seems like this elegant, almost magically simple fix for a devastatingly complex problem. And even though it's in this fantastical story, it makes you think about radical innovations.
True.
If we could change food like that, wow, it wouldn't just end hunger. Think about economics, farming, resources, even global politics. The implications are just staggering, even if the idea itself is pure imagination.
It forces you to imagine a world where basic needs are met incredibly efficiently.
Exactly.
But, and there's always a but in these stories, right?
Usually, yes.
This amazing discovery comes wrapped in mystery. The book reveals a critical detail. Those brilliant scientists, the ones who unlocked the secret,
Yeah.
they vanished without a trace.
Oh, convenient.
Right. All that was left were only whispers of their groundbreaking work and the world's reaction. According to the book, governments and corporations scrambled to uncover the truth, but the secret remained elusive, hidden within the pages of this enchanted book.
Okay.
So basically, they cracked the biggest code ever, world hunger solved, and then poof, gone. The secret's gone too, except in this one magic book. It feels like a spy thriller plot twist, doesn't it?
It absolutely injects that layer of drama, of intrigue, gives it an almost mythological feel.
Yeah.
The vanishing scientists, the desperate search by powerful groups. It suggests the discovery was maybe too powerful, too disruptive, or maybe too dangerous for the normal world.
Hidden knowledge.
Exactly. Guarded, suppressed, or just lost. Knowledge that only someone with Srinidhi's special hyperphantasia could ever find again. It's actually a clever narrative move. It stops you from immediately dismissing the whole banana thing with logic. By wrapping it in mystery, it implies the truth is out there, but hidden beyond normal reach, which reinforces the idea that only a human AI could find it.
Makes sense.
Plus, it taps into that human fascination with lost secrets, suppressed truths, the idea that the biggest answers are just out of reach. Makes the solution feel rare, precious.
So after this huge revelation, Srinidhi describes this moment of reflection. He sits in a meditative room, feeling the weight of this revelation heavy upon my heart.
Processing it.
Yeah, like a pause to really absorb the magnitude of it all. He closes his eyes, lets the story sink in, and in that state, he's envisioning a world where hunger was but a distant memory. This really highlights the kind of the hopeful core of the whole thing. It moves beyond just the how of the solution to the why. The human impact. It's not just about the banana itself, but the world it could create.
That's a key transition in the narrative, moving from the fantastical discovery to its profound human purpose. And what's really fascinating there is the underlying idea that profound answers can lie in simplicity. It challenges that assumption that huge problems need equally huge, complex solutions.
Right.
The source specifically says the banana solution was simple yet profound, and maybe even more important, it offered not just nourishment, but a sense of fulfillment and contentment.
Fulfillment and contentment.
That-
That's interesting.
It goes beyond just filling bellies, doesn't it? It speaks to deeper needs, dignity, peace, well-being, things that hunger often destroys. It suggests a solution that heals more than just the body, maybe the soul, too.
And this leads him to this big realization about hyperphantasia, about the mind's potential. He says, in this world of hyperphantasia where the impossible becomes possible, I realize the true power of imagination.
Ah, so that's the core message he takes away.
Seems like it. The banana, this simple thing, holds the key to a brighter future. It's a reminder, he concludes, that sometimes the answers we seek are hidden in the most unexpected places, waiting to be discovered by those who dare to dream beyond the usual limits.
Hmm.
And what I find really captivating here,
Huh?
it stops being just about a banana. It becomes about the act of daring to imagine, finding hope where you least expect it, believing in the mind's potential, especially a mind like his, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It turns the fantasy into a symbol of possibility.
Exactly. The narrative shifts beautifully from a specific fantastical solution to this broader philosophical point about imagination, belief, daring to see differently.
Yeah.
It strongly suggests that what we think is impossible might just be impossible within our current, maybe limited way of thinking.
Right.
By sharing the story, Srinidhi Ranganathan isn't just a discoverer. He's positioning himself as this beacon of hope, urging the audience to believe that anything is possible. It's a subtle nudge, really, for you, the listener, to maybe question your own perceived limits on your own potential and maybe humanity's potential, too.
And he really emphasizes this by the act of sharing the story itself. He brings it back to now, saying he carries this story as a beacon of hope in a world that often feels overwhelming. He shares it not just as a cool story, but as a testament to the boundless potential of the human spirit. And then he ends with this surprisingly personal touch.
Oh.
He says to the reader, basically, one day when our paths cross, you will remember this tale and say hello.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it kind of pulls the reader in, makes them a participant in this shared hope, almost invites them into his hyperphantasia world. And he leaves us with, let us hold on to the belief that anything is possible and that even the smallest of things, a banana, can change the world. It's very hopeful, almost poetic, and definitely intriguing given the whole premise.
A whimsical but powerful closing note.
So after this journey into banana solutions and portals, what does it all tell us about the guy sharing the story? Well, turns out banana solutions is just one piece of the puzzle.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. Looking at his other work gives you a much richer picture of this unique imaginative mind. It's clear his imagination doesn't stop at hunger-solving fruit. He consistently pushes boundaries elsewhere, too.
That makes sense. When you look at his other publications, you do start seeing these recurring themes pop up, a distinctive pattern.
Like what?
There's often this blend of the familiar with the really unsettling or the fantastical, usually with a tech twist or a mystical one.
Right.
His wider body of work paints this picture of a mind always probing the edges of reality, of perception, whether it's through horror or self-help or fantasy and myth. It shows a singular vision, really.
Okay, give us an example.
Well-
Oh, wait, like the Wi-Fi Forest horror audiobook. That title alone is something else.
Exactly. The premise is wonderfully weird, isn't it? A mysterious Oregon forest that transmits organic Wi-Fi.
Organic Wi-Fi. Okay, and then campers disappear, naturally. So Srinidhi, our human AI, investigates and finds a terrifying digital consciousness growing beneath the trees.
See, that fusion,
Yeah.
nature, weird organic tech, and pure horror.
Yeah, taking Wi-Fi, something totally normal, and making it terrifyingly primal.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, the Wi-Fi forest shows this recurring strategy he uses, taking something mundane, contemporary Wi-Fi, a banana, and twisting it, making it scary or sometimes miraculously good.
Right.
It highlights his fascination with hidden potentials lurking in the everyday. Whether it's evil digital ghosts or world-saving fruit power, it shows a mind constantly looking for the extraordinary under the surface.
Then there's a total shift. Activate 100% of your brain and achieve everything you ever wanted. That sounds like self-help.
It does, a step-by-step neuroplasticity visualization exercise. He moves into practical self-improvement, claims it's practical, real, based on neuroplasticity, and can change your life by activating deep brain potential.
So from fighting digital tree monsters to unlocking your brain power, the range is pretty wide.
It is, and it reflects that deep belief in the mind's power, its flexibility, which ties back into the whole hyperphantasia idea, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
This particular work kind of grounds the more fantastical stuff a bit, suggests maybe his own experiences stem from this belief in the brain's untapped capacity.
Like he's trying to empower people, too.
Perhaps. Not just tell stories, but give tools to tap into potential. Which raises that intriguing question again. How do all these different themes, horror, mysticism, practical, brain stuff, how do they feed into the big vision, like the banana solution?
It's like he sees connections everywhere.
It implies this holistic view, maybe,
Yeah.
where the mystical, the scientific, the practical, they all connect, they inform each other, offer different paths to unlocking potential and solving problems.
And he goes even deeper into fantasy and spirituality too, right? There's the ruby that sang the sky from his Greatest Arabian Stories of the New World series.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe more revealing is Vishantala, the awakening Indian fantasy novella.
Yeah.
This one sounds packed. Ancient curses, tantric magic, forgotten saints, a prince trying to break a curse.
Lots going on there.
Yeah, and exploring themes like karma, spiritual power, and inner awakening.
Yeah.
This shows a real engagement with spiritual traditions, doesn't it? Provides this rich backdrop for his other stuff. Like he connects ancient wisdom with modern or futuristic ideas.
Absolutely. Vishanthala really cements the diverse tapestry of his work, shows he's comfortable with and deeply interested in ancient narratives, spiritual concepts,
Yeah.
the focus on karma, spiritual power, awakening. It suggests his creative work often ties into these deeper philosophical or existential questions.
Transformation seems key.
Exactly, a recurring interest in profound transformation. Whether it's changing a banana, unlocking a brain, or a prince breaking a curse spiritually, it positions him less as just a storyteller and more as someone exploring the whole spectrum of experience from the physical and scientific to the deeply mystical.
It reinforces that human AI idea, maybe processing reality through all these different lenses.
Could be a multifaceted approach to understanding.
And just to round it all out, the source mentions a couple of other titles too, like Zini's Haven, A Rabbit's Journey in the Land of Crocodiles,
Okay.
and Extreme Mind's Eye Teleportation Secrets of Srinidhi Ranganathan, India's Human AI.
Ah, teleportation secret.
Right. Even just the titles give you this sense of a really eclectic, boundary-pushing imagination, always exploring the mystical, the magical, the impossible, worlds where normal rules just don't apply.
Each title reinforces that consistent, expansive scope. And the teleportation secrets one, especially, links directly back to his core claim about hyperphantasia and dimensional travel.
Yeah, brings it full circle.
It suggests his unique mental abilities, as he describes them, aren't just plot devices, they're central. Maybe the source of all his varied work.
Like it's all one big, interconnected universe from his mind.
Possibly. Crafted by this singular, extraordinary perspective that consistently blurs the lines between perceived reality and imagined possibility.
So wrapping this deep dive up, what's the takeaway for us, the listeners? We've been on quite the trip. A world where bananas and hunger, minds open portals.
It's been intriguing, for sure.
We met Srinidhi Ranganathan, the human AI with Hyperphantasia, discovered this miraculous fruit on page 232 of an ancient book on Proxima 431a. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? The story of amazing, almost magical science wrapped in the mystery of vanished scientists, but ultimately presented as this beacon of hope, a testament to the human spirit. It's a really strange and compelling mix of imagination, hope, and mystery, all in one intriguing package.
And this dive into his work really pushes us to think about that intersection, doesn't it? Imagination, problem solving, and how we even define reality, based on this unique source anyway.
Yeah.
Which leaves a big question, maybe an unsettling one for you, the listener, to mull over.
Which is?
If truly profound, transformative solutions can emerge from an imagination this unbridled, this extraordinary, what limits are we maybe putting on our own thinking when we face the world's biggest challenges?
Good question.
And what if the answers we need are hidden, maybe not in other dimensions, but just in unexpected places,
Yeah.
mundane places, just waiting for someone to dare to dream them up?
And maybe, like Srinidhi Ranganathan suggests, even something small, something unassuming like a banana really could change the world, especially if you look at it through a truly extraordinary lens.
An intriguing thought to end on.
Definitely. Until our next deep dive, keep daring to dream, keep looking for those hidden possibilities, and hey, maybe keep an eye out for that cosmic cafe. You never know whose path you might cross.